Testy, testy.
Mic test, mic test.
Testicles. Testing. Did you record me saying testicles?
Welcome to the
Kiki
and Cowboy show, where we're clearly we don't rehearse. And the answer is now yes.
I was singing it.
She was saying test tickles, and then like that old Sesame Street thing was like they go test tickles.
Testicles.
Yes, those little faces that are side by side. So yeah, clearly this is I think we've already named the show.
But the show has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we're talking about testing.
So, how much do you love your tortoises?
Oh, words cannot describe how much I love those two rambunctious, wild.
Rambunctious? Yes. That's the word we're going to describe.
That's what you described the tortoises nearly. They're pretty much just yard boulders.
That's so true.
Yeah, they
they are like landscape design.
Yeah, they're
really
just,
all
just
it is.
slightly moving landscape.
What was that? The never-ending story where he was like the boulder eater and he barely moved and he.
Well, there's that one, and there's
really
there's a giant tortoise in that. Remember, she sneezes on him.
Oh,
yeah, the huge tortoise. I
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking the boulder eater because I was thinking he was just
boulders,
kind of like he spoke really slowly, or like maybe in now I'm going to really nerd out on you,
you are.
Like Lord of the Rings, the Ents who are talking really slow.
If it's anything,
that's what I think of when I think of the tortoises.
Anything's worth saying, it's worth taking. If it's worth taking a long
century?
time to say it, yeah. What's the
no, I was just asking because
Neverending Story?
Oh, the dog. You mean the dragon dog?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pretty sure it's Falcor.
Yes, you were right.
And the kid's name is Atreyu.
Yes.
We watched that that was sixth grade. We watched that movie in sixth grade because my history teacher, I think it was our history teacher, she would get bored and say, watch a movie today, kids. And then she turned it into a 2-day affair because you can never get through a movie in 45 minutes.
No, not at all.
We did Gandhi 1 week.
Oh my God. 1 week. I love that.
No, I mean it. We started it on Monday and then she's like, oh, look, it's Friday.
That's hilarious.
The whole movie. There was an intermission in that movie.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Your
my education,
your upbringing and education.
My education. My creative approach to education.
Yes.
Where were we going? How do we start this thing?
I know. Where are we going with this? No, I was just asking because I'm not sure.
We're talking about the tortoises?
I am. Yes. I was asking about the tortoises because
good question.
I'm not sure that today I'm really loving my dogs.
Oh, yes.
Specifically one dog.
I don't know if you can tell, but both Kiki and I are a little off today.
Are we?
We are a bit off, off kilter.
I don't know. I think I'm always just this spicy.
Yes. Well, so I'll just say that we are mildly, if not aggressively sleep deprived, and thus the dogs. So set the stage for it.
Yeah.
Then,
so
Kiki.
we just recorded probably one of our longest episodes on one podcast. So I'm committed. I'm promising you here right now. This is going to be our shortest episode.
We're already almost 4 minutes in.
I'm not off to a good start.
We spent too much time talking Gandhi.
You wasted all my time talking about Gandhi.
Yeah,
nonsense.
It's not a wasted time.
I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
I was saying set the stage for why we can't apparently stay on topic.
Yeah, why we can't stay on topic. So when you live in Texas, one of the things that comes with the living here is the storms. And so usually the spring and the fall are the stormiest seasons.
It's
big
early
surprise
May.
if you're
at recording time, it's early May.
Yeah. So if you're like
in Texas
up north, you're like, what's the big deal? It rains a lot in the spring and the fall, right? Of course, that's stormy season, but
we have
stormy season here
high winds,
has high winds,
lightning.
You get a lot of the lightning and thunder that you would get. So I grew up, part of my growing up, I shouldn't say entirely, but some formative years. I grew up in Arizona.
That's a big word.
Thank you.
Arizona.
Thank you. Oh, hey, wait a minute.
It's one of the multisyllabic states.
Yes. And so when you're in Arizona, you get what's called monsoon season that comes through, and you get these massive downpours that just kind of turn on like a faucet and then turn off, flash floods, and you get the most amazing sheet lightning and thunder that rolls through. And because I was really young and there wasn't anything, really dangerous about it in the sense that, like, I mean, obviously, lightning is dangerous in the sense that you shouldn't be around
outside in a riverbed with an umbrella.
Right. But other than that, there's not like, a real risk of something else happening. It's just these amazing light shows with all of this really deep thunder. So I came to really enjoy, and I could sleep through and really get some good deep sleep because I enjoy the sound of that. It's kind of like if a noise machine had kind of that rumbling, kind of what. So anyway, you get that here, except that you get the risk of tornadoes. You get these heavy massive hail, straight line winds. Yep. You get hail.
Yep.
It's
trees falling down.
It's fairly, it's kind of a, like, you have to be,
it's an ordeal.
Yeah. You have to be kind of aware and on alert. You're waiting for the tornado sirens to go off.
Yep.
If, something.
And what sounds like 1,000 monkeys with hammers on your roof.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hailstorms.
So you can, sometimes, it sounds like your windows are going to break because the hail hits.
And the lightning cracks are pretty intense as well. There's a lot of lightning in close.
So about 3 a.m.
3 a.m. this morning,
we got one of those lovely lightning thunder cracks that you sleep with earplugs.
And sometimes a mask.
And I don't know how. Oh, I guess the mask. I was like, how does the mask help you with a thunderclap?
It's better for the lightning.
It's the lightning.
I can't see any thunder with this on.
Clearly, I have not slept well.
Clearly not.
I'm like, duh. Yeah. So it woke you up. So it must have been a pretty loud one.
Yeah.
I definitely woke up. And
so did our two little dogs.
And so did our two little munchkin dogs. So one of my dogs is an older chap, and he is about 10 or so. And he's taken to, so for those of you who have dogs, I don't know if cats do this, so I couldn't say, but I definitely know dogs do. He's taken to whenever it starts raining or he notices that there's going to be a storm coming in, and animals can usually tell ahead of time. He starts panting pretty heavily. We're
talking about the dog.
Yes.
Okay. Check.
I'm not talking about you, dear. And he won't leave me alone. That does sound a lot like you.
Yeah, it still sounds like,
right next to my side.
Mm-hmm, yeah, still me.
Still you. Okay. Well, and so because he blew out both of his ACLs. I think we'll talk about that in a different podcast.
Oh, yes.
So we'll mark that down as a podcast. But because he's blown out both of his ACLs and had them repaired
on a little dog,
he no longer sleeps up on the bed at the foot of the bed with us.
Yeah. He sleeps with bionic
under the bed. But when it storms, he will come out.
He finds
finds his mama, which is me.
Oh.
And so about 3 a.m., he definitely came out and was like, he wanted some love and attention. And so I picked him up, and I've learned that at least with him, if I usually keep him on the side of the bed, near me. And one, I'm trying to protect you from them, so at least one of us can get some sleep, right?
Yeah, not happening.
And I take the big comforter, not the sheet that we're sleeping under, right? Not the flat sheet, but just the big comforter.
The duvet.
And I put it on top of him.
I know that word.
Ooh, talk about a big word.
Hey, I saw Fight Club.
Look at you. So, so
that's how most men my age learned about what a duvet is. Is that what it is?
A duvet from Fight Club? Okay. Yeah. And so anyway, he calmed down. He was pretty good. And as long as I kept my hand on him, he laid down. He was not panting in my face, he's got terrible dog breath. Oh my God. So I was
talking about the dog, not Cowboy.
Yes, not about Cowboy. So I was pleased for that. Now, our other dog, which you have once aptly described as looking like a troll doll on top of a pencil.
Yes, but in dog form.
The other way that to give you a visual, we have also referred to her as Fizzgig for anybody who is interested. I believe that is a Dark Crystal reference for those nerds out there who enjoy that.
The dog that loses its mind.
Yes.
Tilts its whole jaw back. Goes, rah, rah, rah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's accurate.
So that dog.
It's a good impression, I think.
Thank you. That dog wakes up.
I was complimenting myself.
Now, that dog
channeling Fizzgig
has a love affair with my husband.
Yes.
She is absolutely convinced that you are her boyfriend, not me. She's like,
you and the kids do a voice for her.
I even I practically bottle fed her. We got her when she was so little. And no, the sun and the moon rise and set on my husband, and she is all about Cowboy. So she comes up in between the two of us, and she is just sitting there, and she has one of those tails that just thump, 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 thump.
You can hook that up to a generator, and you've got a hungry dog.
And she has got the longest tongue known to man. She has got to be like part frog or something.
She'll get you from a foot away.
And she will, and she just licks and licks and licks and licks constantly, right?
Oh,
so
the worst.
I'm anticipating this. She gets in between us, and I'm trying not to wake up my husband. I really have the best of intentions here.
I want to make a statement. I'm already awake at this point. I'm just trying to pretend to be asleep with my earplugs and my thing.
He's just trying to see what is she doing, and
she's doing everything she can to shelter me from
all over the place. You know, like how somebody's trying to be quiet and they're really not being quiet.
Yeah, it's like it's like you're trying to catch the dishes that they're falling out of the cabinet. And they're still breaking and making a noise, but you're making an effort.
And he's laying there acting like he's asleep. Right. Exactly. So I get her, and I think I'm going to do the same thing with her. The older boy is laying down. I'm just going to put her under the cover right next to. She'll lay down. And does she? No. She decides, if you can imagine it, what's the visual? I want to say, Dune. The movie Dune with the sandworms.
The worm sign.
Yes. That is her in our bed.
You see, and Dune, the lightning would be hitting the friction of the sand as it moves underneath the surface. But yes, that's her.
Yes. And so she is burrowing. So she's under the cover. She's burrowing, but she is walking all over our bed.
Yeah.
Like at the foot of the bed, up between us, back down.
Yeah, she's on
around,
fire.
Over us.
She's got somewhere to be, and it's everywhere in that bed.
She is like, it is a party. I never get to be
3 a.m. Everybody's up. Let's jam.
The older dog is up here. Like something is happening.
There's energy. Yeah, there's energy. Clearly energy.
Oh man. And so of course, quietly, I'm trying to whisper at her and be like, get over here. Get back over here.
Meanwhile, I'm just laying there going, I'm hearing, get over here. Flap, 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 lick. I was just like, And I had woken up, and we checked our apps because we both wear these and I had woken up and was just straight on awake.
I think we would have had more sleep in death than we did last night.
It was I was deep sleep, and
it was awful.
And
it does not help you, my dear, that your wife is in menopause. So why don't we add to all of this? I now have a microwave on my left, my husband. I have 2 miniature microwaves somewhere. One of them is on my right, and one is just wandering around the bed.
Yeah, and your husband has a fan running on him all the time because I'm so hot.
And so
wink.
I generally, I didn't pick up on that. I'm sorry. Yes, you are, dear.
I called it out.
Yes, you
I'm
are,
putting
dear.
it in the show notes.
Yes. Put in a little whistle, like a sound effect. Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to add whistle sound effect there.
Yes. But I can sleep through the night. If I don't wake up, I'm fine. But if I wake up, all of a sudden, like the furnace turns on. I am so hot. I'm trying to kick the covers off. Trying to keep the covers on the dogs, trying not to kick the covers off of you, trying to be out of the covers, but I don't like the wind blowing on me from the fan. So I mean, it's just impossible. It was a struggle last night, and your alarm goes off early
at 6,
which yes,
we're both basically awake. I think you were asleep.
I was kind of lucid sleeping, kind of in that light sleep.
I had a optional business meeting this morning that I did not make.
Which was very, very heavy on the optional.
Yeah. I got out of bed, came and made coffee, sat on the sofa, and pretty much moped.
Yeah.
I think that's what I did.
Yeah. And I fell asleep hard.
It was a social business meeting, and I was in no mood to be social with any human being.
Fell asleep hard after you left the room.
I knew you would.
And then my alarm goes off because I have an early morning meeting that is not optional. And boy, did I make it optional. I texted somebody and was like, can you just take this meeting for me,
just
please?
Lead it. Just make up numbers.
I don't care what you say. Sign me up for every action item there is. I don't care. I'm selling my soul to the devil.
Print all the widgets. Print them all.
Yes to everything.
Yeah.
And I laid there. And the other part that goes, I guess I would say it goes with menopause, but I guess it just doesn't. Maybe it just goes with people our age.
It does.
I can't turn off my brain to go back to sleep.
Same. That's why I got out of bed and made coffee. There's just all of these random ooh, what about this? And then I'm like, no, go away. And then what about the whatabouts, and I probably should. And
just these little.
I'm going to do everything poorly today, but I'm still.
Yeah.
We spent the day. It's later in the evening now.
We got up and had coffee, and we laid together on the sofa
for a little bit,
couch, and just. I apologize to you profusely.
And which was not necessary. It's just the way it happened.
Yes, but
see how understanding I am.
You are so understanding. I love that. I love that. You're going to hold that over my head for something. There would be some something, and you're going to be like, "But did I get mad about that?
Did I get mad about the thing?"
Oh, and then you said that somehow we stole all the covers from you. So
yes, so that was the interesting, and her juggling of animals and heat. That was one of the problems. Oh yes, and I forgot. She's got the stanky leg too. So
no.
So all this rolling. Eventually, I had enough covers to cover 2/3 of my body because the rest was over there. And Kiki's.
But you want the fan on you anyway.
And you were in the middle of the bed. I'm on the sliver on the left with 2 little covers.
The dogs. We're in a king size bed.
Yes.
The dogs are on a queen size bed.
They have their own queen, which is the remaining of the bed that Kiki and I are not on.
I'm on a twin, and then I don't know what you're on.
When
you're
Kiki I'm on the edge, literally on the edge. And then Kiki, when she's really tired, or when I'm really tired, she has these 30-second interval where I think it's her right leg just goes kick. And it just shakes the whole bed, and then it pulls the covers down. And then it calms down. And I'm I'm drifting off a kick. And she doesn't kick me. It's just a kick that's violent enough that it moves the covers and moves part of the bed.
I have no recollection of that.
Of course not.
All.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
And that's when my alarm went off. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting up.
So I guess what I'm asking for of our listening audience is if you know anything about restless leg syndrome.
Yes, please put the comment in the show notes.
Am I at risk of dementia and Alzheimer's because I haven't
Google
treated my restless
and refuse
leg,
to do so.
or I don't know what. It's a medical problem. So that is it. The end. Fairy magic music. Heart music.
I wasn't ready for that. Okay, I'll put all that in post, I guess.
You're not prepared.
I'm tired.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah, Cowboy is sleepy.
Cowboy is sleepy. We're both grumpy and pissy.
Let's play the outro music.
Okay.
So this has been...
fine. Cut me off.
Yeah, this has been... I'll let you do the out tag.
Whatever.
This has been And Cowboy Misadventures. Thank you for joining us.
I don't think I like anybody right now.